Hey Ash, what's up? Where have you been? Did you get my memo? No, but thank God you called. I have a story for you. And this deserves a memo.
What up, Memo Mamas? Welcome back to This Deserves a Memo. This is Rachael Weber speaking.
This is Ashley Friedman speaking.
And we are your hosts for this wonderful podcast called This Deserves a Memo. Thank you all for coming back for another episode.
Yes, we are so excited to be here. And yeah, another Monday.
Another Monday. Actually, this is a special Monday because it is Turkey Monday.
Gobble, gobble. I was going to say tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but that's Thursday,
it's
right?
It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes, Thanksgiving
short week,
is a short week. I have Thursday and Friday off. What about you?
Yes. I'll probably take a half day Wednesday and then Thursday, Friday off.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm very excited.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
So on Thanksgiving, I'm teaching my climb class,
okay, yeah.
which is actually like sold out already. All my friends are coming, and then Nick is going to come. And
I want a spot.
I know. I feel like someone's going to drop out.
Tell me if somebody opens up. I totally forgot to
because then you can meet a bunch of my friends, which would be fun. But so I'm teaching that, and then so this weekend actually is Nick's family's Thanksgiving because he has like a big family, and everybody has like, you know, the in-laws and their different families that they go to. So they picked this weekend to do like the brothers and the sisters, like his dad on his dad's side, have their Thanksgiving together. So I'm doing that with his family this weekend. And then on Thanksgiving, my sister's coming in town with my nieces. And then Nick is going to come to my house for Thanksgiving. And then my brother-in-law will be there later in the week. And then my family. And then, yeah. It'll be so fun. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Fun. Yeah, I feel like all the celebrations are in order.
Yeah. What about you guys?
This year is my parents' year, so Ethan and I switch on and off. So last year we went up to Flag with his family. So this year we're going to do it with my family, and my brother flies in, and we'll have like a few of my aunts and uncles over. And then Friday we'll have Ethan's parents at our house for dinner, just spend some time with them. And then Saturday, I think maybe like I don't know what we're doing, but I think we're going to like do something maybe with, I don't know. We're still trying to figure out Saturday plans. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I know.
Controversial opinion. I don't like Thanksgiving food.
Me neither.
Okay, good.
I don't like, yeah.
I'm not
obsessed. I love sweet potatoes.
I love sweet potatoes. Definitely love sweet potatoes. I think that the food is overhyped. Like, my mom and I usually will make salmon.
I love that. No, we're making steak this year because I was like, I don't want turkey.
Yeah.
I'm not a turkey lover.
My brother-in-law likes turkey. And then also the girl, like my nieces. So I have a niece who is almost 3, which is crazy. And then my sister also just had another baby. Her name is Frances. We call her Frankie. And she's only like, what is it? Would that be like 3 months old? 4 months? 3 months?
Crazy.
I know.
July, right?
Yeah. July, August, September. Yeah. Oh, 5 months.
5 months or 4 or 5 months.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But so it's kind of like, it's early in the Thanksgiving times for them. So we probably should be doing the turkey.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
you got to do the classics.
I can't be such a boring grandma. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, but it is fun because now the holidays are starting to get a little more exciting
with
again.
The kids.
Yeah.
That's how I feel with Ethan's family. Like, there's like, I got 9. I don't know how many like nieces and nephews.
So many
it's
children.
So fun. Like, yeah. So gotta embrace.
Yes. And it's just cool because, like, I'm just so close to these little peewees. Like, they're like my little
nuggets.
Yeah, my little nuggets. So
honestly, speaking of babies, I have the most extreme baby fever. One of my best friends, shout out Jilly, she had a baby, and she's in Tahoe. And then also we saw our good friend Andy's baby this weekend, and the sweetest, cutest baby ever.
How was the baby?
He is so good. He didn't cry once. I held him like half of the night. And I'm obsessed. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I kind of want one of these.
That baby is so stinking cute.
His eyes. Oh,
yes, it's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
He has Andy's eyes.
He looks so much like Andy.
Because Andy has those eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
fever.
that. I have the fever, to be honest.
Oh my.
But not really. But here I kind of have some like fun little updates for you.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll just do a quick like weekend recap.
Yeah,
because
I'll do mine after yours.
We haven't really caught up, and we always just save this for the podcast.
I know, and then we end up like going like 45 minutes of just talking.
I know.
But it's okay.
Classic.
You guys want to hear it, right?
Classic. Well, this weekend I actually went camping with Nick on his hunting trip.
When she told me she was going hunting, I was like, oh my God.
Okay, so I have always like, I don't know, I think it's just, being a female and you hear like the guys are going on like the hunting trip and you're like, okay, like, I don't know, whatever. So Nick told me that he wanted me to come on like for part of it, and he was like, yeah, you can come up for like a few of the days, and like it doesn't, you don't have to, but it's only like an hour away. We went to, it's called Wickenburg, and it's like in Wickenburg is where his like tag was for his deer hunt. So he got a tag for hunting like a buck, which is a male deer. And so it was in this little area. It was super easy to get to. So I just drove up for a few days. And it was so cute. Like, he's so good. I didn't know that he's, like, so good at camping. Like, it was just so precious.
How so? Just, like, he so had, like, cute. Did you have, you had a tent?
Yeah, like, I got to the camp. And, like,
he had set it up.
Yes, I got to the camp, and he literally had, like, picked the perfect spot, number one, for like, because it's crazy. Like, I didn't realize when you get your tag in these areas, it is just like a jungle for hunting. Like, it is like your nature's playground out there. Like, and there's all these different hunters and you're all hunting for the same thing. But it's kind of fun because like, it's just, you kind of feel like you're in like this like alternate universe. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this like safe haven for like, I don't know. It's just so funny. Like, you're just a bunch of random people all placed in this like random plot of land in the middle of nowhere. And like, you're all just like out there, and you can like see everyone's like fires randomly, but then like you never see anyone or hear anyone during the day because you're quiet to not like scare the animals. Yeah. So it's a very like peaceful and tranquil weekend because the whole time we're like, oh, what should we make for dinner? Like, you're very quiet. Like, you're never loud. Yeah. But number one, so I get to the campsite, and he had like the little tarp laid down. Like, he was very meticulous. Tarp laid down with the tent perfectly assembled. Like, I mean, he definitely is very like pays very close attention to details. So like, I would expect nothing less. But like, everything was very meticulously like set up. Like, brought extra pillows for me. Like, always like I remember I was like, oh, my gloves aren't like warm enough, and he's like, oh, don't worry, like, I have an extra pair for you, like, I brought you more. Oh my gosh. Just like had everything like perfectly
situated.
Yes.
Prepared.
Had all these snacks for me, like, just like had water, had a whole system for everything, and I was just very impressed. I was like, this is like kind of, you really have this down, like, you know what you're doing here. He had a little hot water thing for cooking meals, so like he would bring things. I was gonna ask, like, water.
What did you eat?
I mean, so I was only there for 2 days, so I had enough time. I had like enough like time food to bring like salad and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
or like egg, like a hard boiled.
Yes, like I brought like I made overnight oats, and then I also brought like little salad kits from Trader Joe's.
Perfect.
And I had a little cooler, so I just put some ice in there. I brought like turkey.
Okay,
and, like,
so just like simple stuff.
Yeah, if I was there for 2 weeks, I don't think I would have been able to bring that.
Wait, he wasn't there for 2 weeks?
No, but like there's some trips he goes on for like 7 to 8 days.
Whoa.
So it's like you're really
roughing it out there.
Oh yeah.
Did you poo poo or pee pee in the woods?
I definitely pee peed. I cannot poop, and I mean I can't. He even had a shovel if you had to poop.
I would never poop in the woods.
I think I definitely could, but like I can't.
Oh God. Did you squat when you peed though? Like, did you do the tree trick where you hold onto the tree and you squat down?
No.
Okay. Did you have toilet paper, or do you shake dry?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I didn't.
Oh, I just like worry about infection.
Oh, but you're fine. Mostly I did. No, I always had like.
I guess you can.
He always did. He always had it for me.
Yeah. Did you think he pooped in the woods? He had to, right?
He did. I mean, he's a man. They always do.
So essentially, you just shovel and shit and then cover it. Oh my God. Okay, that's okay.
What?
So I have some trauma from a past boyfriend.
This sounds like it's really bringing something up for you.
Yeah, this is like a triggering thing, like hunting, because the last guy I dated before Ethan seriously was like a mega hunter.
Oh, mega hunter?
Like, just like that's what he did, and he would go hunting like on Christmas, and he would like miss the holidays.
Oh yeah, that's not what Nick is not like that.
That's good, and he would only use his vacation time for hunting. Like it was very
Okay,
traumatic.
that's extreme.
Okay, but the reason why, so I texted Rachel today. I was like, "Can you send me a picture of Nick?"
Oh my god, yeah. Wait, what was this about?
Because my ex-boyfriend and Nick look identical.
No, they don't.
I'm dead ass. I'll show this to YouTube. So if you want to see the picture, we're not going to post it anywhere because God only knows if this man who I used to date for like years and years follows me. He does it on Instagram, but I don't want it to get out there.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Wait,
They're the same human. You guys, the way they dress, their mouth,
it's
their
like
jaws,
the face shape.
It's their face shape. I'm guessing Nick is way better. I've only interacted with Nick like 2 or 3 times, but
Wait, I'm dying. Well, okay, this will perfectly explain to you Nick's level of hunting. When I got there, he was like, when I first pulled up, he was like, "I'm so excited you're here." And then he said to me, "Look, like, really the intention of this weekend is just have fun outdoors. I'm really happy that you're here with me. And honestly, I really don't care if I shoot anything. If I find anything, like, it's
just a fun experience.
It's really fun to be outside and, like, see animals and do stuff. Like, it's just something I like doing."
That's amazing.
So he was like, don't. Like, I think he wanted to kind of set the intention of, like, he's not going to be stressed if nothing happens. And that was totally it. Like, he didn't get anything. And, like, it was fine.
Did you have to stay quiet the whole time, though? Like, were you like...
No, we were just, like, talking like this.
Okay.
Like, you're not, like, screaming. But it was fun because, like, we had, like, these headlamps. Like, we wake up really early in the morning.
That's what I was going to ask you.
And we watched the sunrise, and it was beautiful. And, like, we would, like, hike to these little spots, and, like, we would put these little chairs, and he brought me, like, binoculars.
Oh,
like,
you got
I had
chair?
my own.
You had a chair?
Yeah. Like,
That's
I had
nice.
my own binoculars, and, like,
you would
we
scout
sit.
for him?
Yes. It was so fun. And we actually did see, we didn't see any bucks. Like, this one area was not very populated by bucks for some reason. But, and nobody else that was in the area even saw them either. But we did see, like, a bunch of does, like the female does.
You can't shoot those?
You can, but he didn't have a tag for them.
Oh, so what if you
have
shot
a specific
it?
tag.
Well, who would know?
He is so by the book. I was like,
okay.
I was like,
good.
"Oh,
Good
why
job,
don't you
Nick.
submit me for a tag and then you can do it?" And he's like, "No, you would have to shoot it." And I'm like, "Wait, but you?" And he's like, "No." He's like, one day we're having fun and I'm shooting it for you, and the next thing you know, we're at somebody's wedding and you meet someone from the Arizona Game and Fish Department and you're going to jail. And I'm like, "Okay, that is literally not."
That's insane. Oh my God. Wow. But
like,
you never
that's
know.
That's not gonna happen. But okay, yeah. He's just like he's like, "No, like, you do not shoot an animal you don't have a tag for." Like, he wouldn't even shoot like a quail if it wasn't.
Oh wow. Okay.
It could just be him.
Is how like for birds they have those whistles? Is there a deer whistle?
No.
Oh.
But they do have. There's like for elk they have like a
horn
call of sorts. I can't remember. But it was really fun. I definitely want to go back.
I was
like,
gonna
on one
ask
of
you,
those.
would you do it again?
1,000%. Like, I thought it was the most fun weekend ever. Like, there's no hiking trails in this area, so you literally follow a game trail, which is like what the animals make. Like, no, they make like little paths, like hiking paths for you.
It's giving Hunger Games.
It was. And so, like, it was so fun. Like, I'd be on my binoculars and I'd like look across the mountains, and we're literally like climbing these mountains. Like, it was really fun. And I'd like look across and I'd be like, "Whoa, like there's a cow." And like you just like a wild cow. Yeah.
Can you shoot the cow?
No.
I'm screaming. I can't. This is too much for me.
No, because people have like it is so interesting. Like, the whole farming thing is like they just let their cows roam.
Okay, last few questions. Like,
Okay.
There are other people in the area?
Yes.
Did you make friends?
No.
You don't talk to anyone because you're all going against each other.
Well, yeah,
right?
they're all getting the other. But then it was
you're
like
competitive.
But then sometimes, like, so imagine it's so quiet, and so like Nick and I will be like eating breakfast, and then all of a sudden you hear, like, you hear, and then Nick's like, "Oh, that's a shot. Like, somebody got a buck." Because everyone's
Could you have gotten shot?
No.
Okay, so no one's
but
like.
we were talking. Nick and I were talking about that. We're like, it is weird. Like, if you're not
skilled,
I mean,
it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Like, you're not gonna get shot, but I'm sure there has been times where somebody has been shot.
Yes.
And did you hold a gun at all?
No.
Okay, that's probably better.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, when I was out there, I was like, I love this.
No, it's like a natural
I
thing.
want to hunt. Like, I want to do it.
Oh my God, Nick, what are you doing to her?
I want to do it. So bad. Like, I'm a country girl now.
She's gone. She texted me, and I literally was like,
great.
she's gone country. Like, you know what though? You know, that's like what you do. You fall in love, and then you just start to adapt to what
You
they
just
like.
become a serial killer.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, it was
Screaming.
It was just so fun. I just had so much fun.
I'm happy for you.
I want to go. He actually said to me, he's like, that was not the normal like experience. Like, it's usually way more fun and like nice than that camping experience, because it was very like deserty.
Yeah.
But still like rolling hills, like beautiful trees and stuff. It was nice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But you know, it's like he's like, I really prefer like the big pine trees and like going further up north. Like, he's like, that's really fun.
Okay, one last question.
Final
if
one,
he would have killed an elk, okay, he would have had
Or a
to
deer. Yeah.
you would have to touch it. And carry it with him. And did you have gloves to carry it? Like, would you have actually touched it? Because you would have found me running so fast in the opposite direction. Like, were you prepared to like help him?
I kind of was
It's like
prepared.
literally giving no
Jump scare. No,
giving-
I was definitely prepared, but I was not doing any of the dismembering, if you will.
Yeah, you have to do that. You have to axe it, huh?
I mean, Ashley, this animal is huge. Think about the size of a buck.
I am gone. I am out. I would die. So would you have watched him cut it up?
I don't know.
It's giving rat in the toilet.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So that's something that you need to think about next time you go.
I know, because going into it, I was like, there's no way. But then when I was out there and the adrenaline was pumping,
primal,
I was
don't
like,
you?
oh, I'm ready. Like, I was like, give me the gun. Like, I wanted to do it.
You
like,
turn into a psycho, kind of.
I kind of did, because it's all, and it was cool. It's really weird, like, just being out there and having one mission and one purpose. It's like all you think about
Food
the whole day is finding the deer, and like that's it. Like, that's all I thought about.
Yeah.
And so like
That's actually good for you. Take your mind off all the other stressors in life.
I didn't think about work. It was lovely.
Wow. Okay.
So
That was something.
That was crazy. But and then the one term that I did learn was glassing, which is when you get your binoculars out and you sit at the top of the mountain and you just like, that's when you're just looking through the binoculars looking for like an animal. It's called glassing.
That's
It's
hot.
like, we're gonna glass over there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, let's glass.
I'm screaming. She knows new terms.
Wait, so how was your weekend? Shoot any quail?
No chance. You know, just spent here in Arizona driving around in my Tesla.
City girl.
City girl. No, I'm just kidding. It was great. It was really a nice weekend. What did I do? We hung out with my parents, which is always the best. It's so crazy whenever we go to my parents' house, they're just like so happy we're there. I'm like, wow, I really need to spend more time with you guys. Although we try to see them. And then we just hung out with some friends. So it was a really nice weekend. But really, the bigger news, the biggest news.
Oh, even I know this news.
Is and it sucks because you guys are going to be hearing this a week late. So this past weekend, Travis Kelce was spotted in Argentina at the second show in Argentina with Taylor Swift. And I kind of like broke down all the points just really quick to go over. But when I tell you I was at Andy's house and this happened, I screamed like bloody murder when I started seeing the content roll out. And I was up until 2 a.m. on Saturday night watching every single angle video of like them, the whole thing. Okay, so let me just give you guys a really quick breakdown and then I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay, please.
All right, so we all know that Travis had a bye week this week, flew out to Argentina.
Well, wait, hold on. Before you get started,
Yeah.
if someone's just tuning into this episode, she's talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Thank you. Travis Kelce, he's 87 on the Chiefs tight end. Taylor Swift, you guys know who
Pop
she is.
star. Sensation.
Pop star sensation. Actually, it's Rachel's favorite artist, so.
Die Hard. My first tattoo actually is Taylor Swift. It's on my back.
Yeah, she has Lover right here on the arm.
Yeah. How'd you
Lover.
I wasn't going to tell them about that one yet.
Okay, so he had a bye week, meaning he had the whole week off. He was able to fly out to Argentina. He was supposed to go to the show on Friday night. It got rained out. It was flooded. So they actually had a nice night. They went to the Four Seasons for dinner. And Scott Swift, Taylor's dad, accompanied them. There was like this TikTok video of them walking out and everyone was like clapping. And then there's also footage of him squeezing her hand 3 times. I don't know if you know this, but like when a guy squeezes your hand 3 times.
I love you.
I love you. And so that there was footage on that.
How did someone get footage of that?
Okay, I don't know. They took the video.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I did.
I
You
did
have to
not
look really, really close. And then she's performed on Saturday night, and he was spotted in the tent with Scott.
Yep, I saw this one.
Yeah, I saw this, and Scott was wearing a lanyard. Chiefs lanyard, and he was like taking footage of Travis like singing ole 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 ole, and you could see like the flash was on, like Scott was filming Travis. It was so cute. And then so the first thing that was really monumental is one of the songs, The Archer. It goes like who would ever love me, or would I forget the lyrics, who would ever leave me, darling, but who would stay? And a fan gave him a piece of paper that said, we will stay. And he held it up, like essentially saying like, I will stay. And The Archer is about like anxiety of dating, etc. So we had this sign. It was like so cute. And then her surprise songs, she did Out of the Woods and Is It Over Now mashup, which is like, for all the Swifties, you know how iconic that was. But then she sang Endgame. I want to be your endgame. I want to be your first string. I want to be your A team. And like all of the Swifties were saying like, okay, she's going to for sure sing it if Travis is there. And she did. And it was so good. And that was like a big moment. Okay, I wrote a few other things down. Go.
I was just thinking about this, like, let's really hope they're on the same page, because like that's intense.
Oh yeah,
she's singing that.
Oh yeah, and then she closed out with Karma. Yeah, and you saw that. Yeah, Karma is the guy on the Chiefs coming home to me, and like it was. You could see they panned, or a lot of TikToks like panned to Scott, and he was like nudging Travis, and Travis is like, oh my gosh. And I like this theory I saw on TikTok. This girl was like, I think it was a bet. Like if she was going to change the words, like between, cause like her dancers react. Like, I don't know if it was Travis betting her, but I think she did it, but I think somebody kind of knew, because you could see like Scott like hit Travis like, oh my God, she did it kind of thing. Or maybe she did it on her own accord. I'm not sure.
I watched the videos because somehow TikTok put me on this.
This is amazing.
I don't know why. But I was watching it, and he was like watching the stage like with like blank face kind of.
So you think he was surprised?
I don't think he knew.
Okay, I don't know if like her dad knew.
Her dad like knew, because her dad kind of like nudged him after it happened. Yeah, though. He was like watching him, and then
they all were like this, and then Travis like grabbed his face and was like, oh my God. It was so cute.
Yeah, he seemed like he didn't know. Surprised. Because before he was like watching it just like da 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 da, you know.
He's such a vibe, like the whole time he was dancing, etc. And so then the grand finale of it all is she's clearing the stage, like she's coming out waving to everyone, and then Travis is like standing right there at the tent, or like she's about to walk off stage, and she runs up and like embraces him, and they like have this like really beautiful kiss.
Oh my God.
Like,
okay,
amazing.
So she runs off the stage, kisses him, and they hug, and then they walk away.
And then they walk away.
Nothing.
No,
I have seen this a million times.
I have seen that video from every single angle, every point of view there ever could have been.
Stalker.
And it's insane. I'm obsessed. All in all, I feel like we're just following this really cool, iconic love story.
Yeah, I do. It is really interesting to see this pan out. I mean, I've never seen her in a relationship that's like so in the public eye. But I just wonder, I really do wonder if this relationship has been going on way longer than you think.
You know,
because that's why I'm saying like this is really, really public. Like really public. If they just started dating like even 6 months ago, like that is a lot.
It is a lot. I think she just said, I don't know, a part of me, I do think they started talking a lot longer before we all thought that they did. But a part of me, I'm like, she's just like, fuck it. Like, because Travis is in the public eye with the ads, he does commercials, he has a podcast. He is just a public figure. He always has been. And so maybe she's just like, let's just do it.
No, but like think about it. A relationship, like even I am like wary about talking about like things too personal to me about like relationships and things, because things change, and like I barely have even an audience. Taylor Swift, like she has to be sure that like
it's gonna work,
that they're like serious, you know. So I really do think that this has been like maybe year
Really?
Easy.
That's a very hot take.
I think so. I really think so. Come on, she's smart. She's not gonna just like be like fuck it, like because what happens? He's a football player. He could be a fuck boy. Who knows? He could just be like, you know, up to no. I know he's not, but like
I know
think you know, like it's like she doesn't know that.
Yeah. No, I think I
say a year.
I'd be so curious, but I think they're gonna get married. This is it for sure. End game for me, for her.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think only time will tell. And the biggest thing is this Sunday or this Monday, you guys, will she be at Arrowhead where the Chiefs play the Eagles? Kelsey brothers.
Oh, yes.
Competed out.
What's his name? Justin?
Jason. Yeah.
Jason.
So we'll see. I'm really excited. Unfortunately, this is a week late. So all of you guys already know this, so I won't spend any more time on this.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And when I texted Rachel, I was like, I have to give like the full updates. She knew.
I already
everything.
Knew. I already knew.
Did TikTok just bring you there?
Yeah, TikTok took me there. Took me on a wild adventure. I mean, I wasn't on my phone all weekend, and then I like went onto TikTok, and it like gave me like some of the top 5 hottest stories on the internet within 5 seconds. I was like, wow, okay.
Damn, that's fire.
He knows. So
Timothy Chalamet, Kylie. SNL.
Yeah, what happened to that?
They're still going strong.
Are we sure?
Yeah, she was spotted at the SNL after party because Timothy was on SNL.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I don't care about them, though.
I don't really care either.
Okay. What?
Boring.
Lame.
That's funny.
Oh, sugar and spice and everything nice.
So another thing, too, is that, you know, Ashley, I'm still kicking it with 75 hard.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. What day are you on?
I am on day 14. Day 14, baby, all the way.
I love that. How are you doing? What's the hardest part?
I'm doing great. I actually think that the diet is the hardest part. Mm-hmm. It's by far the hardest part. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Tell the people. I'll tell you my diet.
Okay.
For those of you who are new, 75 hard, 2 45-minute workouts a day, progress picture every day, a gallon of water, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, follow some sort of diet. Mm-hmm. What am I missing?
That's it.
No alcohol.
No alcohol.
For 75 days.
No cheat meals.
And if you fuck it up, then, excuse my language, you have to start from day 1 again. Mm-hmm. So I actually, let's see, I think I'm on day 21.
Damn.
Day 22. And the diet I'm following is essentially, it's called Fast Like a Girl diet. And it's just like, I'm doing intermittent fasting and just doing no processed foods or like real sugars. Mm-hmm. But I'm not, and then just making sure I just eat like protein, veggies, and fruits. Mm-hmm. What diet are you doing? Kind of the same?
I'm following my macros. That I set macros for myself that I've actually used in the past with a nutrition coach.
Okay.
But
you're not being like too crazy.
I'm not being too crazy because I don't really respond well to being too crazy. Like it gets a little bit eating disorder-y, if you know what I mean.
Totally.
It's not good.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. And so I'm just trying to be really conscious of like what I'm eating.
Okay.
And also, like looking at my protein and just basically just trying to get more of a balance between all the foods I'm eating.
I like that.
So, you know, if I'm looking at my food and like my macros like look good, but I'm like, wow, I haven't really had any like vegetables today. Like I'll be like, okay, I should have more greens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
just
I'm still
balance.
tracking everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a slave to the numbers. Like if I'm like 200 calories over, like it's fine. Like I went 200 calories over because I had the apple. Like or like, you know, the apple with peanut butter. Like, okay, I was hungry. Like I wanted that. So
not being restrictive,
no,
if you will.
I don't want to be restrictive. But no, and it's been good. I mean, I think it is a little bit hard. I don't know. It's just always hard.
It is. Food is hard.
It's just really hard. Yeah.
Especially like when you have like restrictions.
Exactly.
But I think for you, like I'm actually restricting a lot of foods, meaning like if like I'm only doing like I have kind of like a list and stuff of what I'm doing, which I feel like is a little bit more restrictive, which I'm not sure if that's as healthy as what you're doing. I don't know.
Teach their own, whatever. I just wanted to.
It is hard though.
But the thing that I really did want to do is the alcohol part, and that I'm really happy that seems to be the easiest part. Like I'm very confused.
Yeah,
for myself.
I was at a friend's house and everyone was drinking. I didn't have one drink, and I like did mocktails, and it was so great because I woke up the next morning. I was like, I feel great.
I know,
and it was very empowering.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Like my friends are coming home for Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, like. I'll drive us when we go out. Like, I'm not drinking, but, like, whatever. And I don't have that, like, itch in me of, like, oh, just one night. Like, I don't know why.
That's good.
So that's good. But I finished my book.
Oh, the book.
The one that Ashley thought was about iCarly.
Oh, right.
So I'm doing the nonfiction books in for 75 Hard, and I read Jeanette McCurdy's autobiography called I'm Glad My Mom Died, and it's just about her mentally and abusive mother, and basically her confessing that she never wanted to act ever in her entire life. Her mom just like forced her into it. So it's a crazy story. Probably one of the best books I've ever read in a while, next to The Silent Patient. That is my all-time favorite book. But now I am reading the Britney Spears memoir called Woman in Me. I can say this confidently that Britney Spears definitely helped write this book because it is written terribly. Not terribly. It's just I like that there's authenticity behind it because it's the writer is so like kind of like woo, like just aloof, and like the way she's speaking is just kind of like,
it seems Britney.
Yeah. And I mean, one second she's talking about her like at-home abortion, and then the next second she's talking about how she's obsessed with peanut butter or something, and it's like all in one paragraph, and I'm like, wait a minute, can we back it up? Like, you got an at-home abortion? Like, what?
Oh, wow.
You know? And so it's written very, but something that I've gotten a huge like takeaway from this book so far is I had no idea the level of intensity with her relationship with Justin Timberlake.
Wow.
I mean, it was like up and down. Like, that was like
Traumatic.
her one true love.
Wow.
I had no idea.
I mean, I didn't either. I did love Britney. I grew up with Britney. Something happened where I was just like, I'm so over you, Britney. But I'm like all for free Britney, you know? Like, the conservatorship, I think, is so horrible.
I haven't gotten to that part yet. But
I know I heard that it was Justin's baby that she aborted. Yeah. He wanted her to do it. Yeah.
And it was at home. They didn't want any of the press to know.
Anyone to know. That's kind of fricked up.
I know.
Dang.
But the story is, I mean, it's really interesting learning about her past, and like,
that's one I would listen to. A book I would like to listen to.
Yeah.
Not read.
And not read? Really?
Memoirs, I like audio books.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is interesting too, like, you hear about where other actors and actresses got their start too. Like, she'll be like, oh yeah, and I remember sitting in the dressing room talking to this girl named Christina Aguilera, and then this other friend of mine named Natalie Portman like came in and talked, and I'm like, whoa, like, it's just
Name
so
dropping,
weird.
yeah.
She's like explaining where all these people started too.
Yeah, and she was on like the Barney gang?
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I mean, all
the Barney
of
gang.
The Mickey Selena was Barney. But yeah, it's crazy how a lot of them started with Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
At least her, Justin and Christina. There's a few more, but
Craziness.
Well, let us know how that book goes. Still reading my 2,000 pages of ACOTAR. So
I'm also dying because I literally did not know that you were talking about A Court of Thorn Roses.
Oh, have you read it?
No, but. You keep calling it ACOTAR, and you've never really explained to me that it's not
A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Whoops. I like keep thinking of like Avatar.
Oh, no.
And then I'm like, it must be like similar.
It's kind of giving Avatar though.
And I don't know why I just like recently put this together. Like, I was like, oh my God, wait, what?
Yeah.
It was just such a mind-blowing experience because I've like seen that book places, but
it's
you
everywhere.
Only call it ACOTAR, and I'm like, what is this ACOTAR? Like, is this like a land or like?
It's a fake book.
That was just so funny when I had that revelation the other day. Okay.
I love it. Well, what's our time?
Well, no, let's just go.
Okay.
Let's just go.
So I wanted to chat with you guys. We were thinking, okay, we always say that I'm a pelvic floor specialist, physical therapist on here, but I really haven't given any like stories or things that I do or what I treat, etc. So I kind of wanted to give you guys the lowdown of kind of behind the scenes of what I do, what I treat, and talk a little bit about like health, like knowing how important it is to know what's going on with your own health, and how I see in clinic like so many people have no idea what's going on with their health and how detrimental that is to you, especially in the medical system. But shall I just get going?
Yeah, I mean, well, here, take us back. So you went to college.
Yeah, I got
I want this to be kind of like an informational session. Like,
okay,
who is Ashley? Who is Ashley? Where did she come from? What's the situation? We can do a more in-depth, like, get to know us one, but regarding my career. Your career.
Yeah.
So you went to
Colorado State. I got my bachelor's degree in health and exercise science with a concentration in sports medicine. And so I graduated, and then you have to go and get your doctorate in physical therapy. So I went to Portland, Oregon, Pacific University to get my doctorate in physical therapy. And
were you going in thinking, hey, I want to do this in sports physical therapy?
I wanted to be like an orthopedic specialist and work with like athletes. And so I spent 3.5 years going to school. I graduated and I got my first job in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I was treating, like generalized athletes, more sports injuries, knees, shoulders, ACLs, backs, like all the things.
What year was that?
I graduated in 2018. So I started treating in 2018 as a physical therapist. I was really young. I graduated, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I started college at 17, and then I graduated physical therapy school at 23. So I was really young coming out as a physical therapist, and I was like, had like this big kid job, and I was treating like these adults, and they would look at me like, oh my gosh, you're like 16. And so I was at that job for like 2.5 years, but I started seeing so many pregnant women coming into clinic where they would like want to do a Tough Mudder or walk a marathon, or they were pregnant or postpartum and were having so much back pain and hip pain. And we learned in school, like sometimes when patients don't respond to normal treatment, such as just like general physical therapy, it can be stemming from something called the pelvic floor. And so I knew that. And so I would refer a lot of these patients to specialists. And I was like, I want to be able to help these women. Like, I don't want to keep having to send them to somebody else. Like, I want to be able to treat that too. Mm-hmm. And so I, had this girl, her name is Carrie Zimba. She is a specialist in Scottsdale, and I started kind of shadowing her and was like kind of dabbling and seeing like if I would like it. And I was like, yeah, I think this is something I want to do. So I went ahead and started my continuing education to start treating the pelvic floor. And so, you have to take just a series of classes, but then on top of that, you really have to find a really good mentor who's going to train you and take you under their wing. And so I applied for a job where I work now. It's called the Women's Center of Advanced Pelvic Surgery. It's in Mesa, Arizona, and I work for 3 urogynecologists who reconstruct the pelvic floor. So they are constantly doing surgery, whether you have a prolapse or you're getting a hysterectomy, or they're doing like all sorts of different procedures. And so I work in their office, and I'm the only physical therapist in their office. So, and I work also with 4 other nurse practitioners. And Dr. Stratford, he's the one that owns the practice, really took me under his wing, and they started to train me, and I would go in and see patients with them, and I would go in with the nurse practitioners for different like pessary fittings, which is like when women have prolapse and they'll put in pessaries, and post-operative appointments, pre-operative appointments. And then at the time, I shouldn't say I was the only physical therapist there, but my coworker, Andrea, she's older than me, and we became really close. So she was the one who really trained me, took me under her wing, and she's been in women's health for like 8 years. And she is so smart. Andrea, if you're listening to this, I love you. I owe everything to you. She left about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And now I'm the only treating physical therapist in the practice. But she's like taught me everything I know. But then it's so nice.
Oh, they haven't hired another one?
No, and they probably won't.
Really?
Yeah. It's really hard. The setting I'm in is so medical. Usually what I do, pelvic floor PTs will work at like have you ever been to physical therapy, like a gym? Yeah. They'll just have like a private room in the gym. for me, I work like in an actual doctor's office. It's just very specialized. Like you talk to a lot of pelvic floor physical therapists and they'll treat like postpartum patients and pregnancy and all sorts of stuff. But I really treat like so many people post surgeries and like women who can't empty their bladders and a lot of like dysfunctional defecation, people who can't poop, where I'll use like an rectal balloon and like simulate pooping. And like I have just the equipment at this practice that so many other therapists don't have and have resources to. And that's why I love where I work, because I have like the support of the surgeons and the nurse practitioners. I have literally everything I could ever need, which is really, really amazing.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that having that surgical component to it all,
helps.
You have more resources and
do.
tools.
And yeah, I work for a huge practice that makes a ton of money. So like if I need something, it's like, yeah, of course. But like it's different in a pelvic or just a physical therapy practice. Like resources can be limited.
Totally.
So I love where I work. My ideal would be I work at the Women's Center, 2 days a week. And then the rest of the time I'd be treating more on my own and just doing, because right now, if you come and see me where I work, I'm completely cash pay unless you have Mercy Care or Medicare. So visits like are pretty expensive, but that's kind of all around the valley. You're seeing all these therapists going cash pay because unfortunately, this is horrible, but insurance call pelvic floor physical therapy experimental.
They do?
Yeah.
Really?
And it's really sad. And I could go on, I could do a whole episode of how horrible insurance is and how horrible it is related to women postpartum. It's really disgusting. It's really sad. They don't support women. But let me tell you, if this was a man going through this, it would be covered and it wouldn't be experimental. But don't get me started there. So we had to turn to cash pay because that's really how we make revenue, because they weren't reimbursing at the rates that we needed them to.
Terrible.
So that's kind of where I am. I treat so many different patients where I could see a 14-year-old who's bedwetting. I could see a 85-year-old who's having urinary incontinence, someone who's postpartum. And I wrote down, I think this would be really interesting for people to hear, just a patient example.
Oh, please.
And I think this will give a good idea of maybe what somebody, and a lot of women, if you're pregnant or postpartum, maybe you can relate to this. And I think there's a good take-home message here. And I think this is pretty interesting. Okay. So I'm the PT. Okay. So you're the patient, and Rachel comes in, and I'm gonna go through. We chat, we introduce ourselves. Your clothes are still on at this point. Okay. You're not naked yet.
All right. I know. My top is on.
Yeah, your top is on.
Okay.
Okay. So I asked them their essentially the chief complaint, and she comes in and she's saying her pubic bone really hurts, her pelvis hurts, and she does not get the sensation that she needs to go to the bathroom. Meaning she has no idea when she has to pee.
That would be
so imagine
weird.
Not having that sensation.
That'd be so weird.
Okay. And so I asked her about her bladder. She doesn't have the sensation to urinate since her last birthday. So this is over 9 months ago. She goes to the bathroom 3 to 4 times a day just because she forces herself to go. She gets up 5 times a night to urinate, and she feels like, for the most part, she empties her bladder. She's not leaking any urine or anything like that. After her second birth 9 months ago, she started having horrific pelvic pain. She has a sharp shooting pain in her pubic bone, dull achy pain all the way down into her legs. She's unable to walk for more than 30 minutes. She cannot stand for more than 20 minutes, and she's unable to lay down without pain. And she has random pains that shoot into her rectum and into the vagina. She has a history of sciatic pain and back pain. She broke her tailbone 3 months before her birth and from a fall. And she's been to numerous of doctors, OBGYNs, and all of them have just told her she's fine. It's because she gave birth. She's been to chiropractors. She's done PT elsewhere. She can't have intercourse because it's too painful. She was unable to have intercourse for 9 months. It creates a significant amount of pain where she'll break out in literal hives because it's so painful. She just got her period the first time this last week, and she's still breastfeeding. And whenever her cycle comes on, she has really terrible hip pain. So what I do is I got all that. That's actually her information. And so I go through bowels, bladder, pain, where you experience your pain, aggravating factors, alleviating factors, what helps, what hurts, what have you done, what have you not done. And then I do an exam. And so the first thing I'll examine is internally, I'll do a vaginal exam to examine the pelvic floor. And then I'll do a rectal exam because we have muscles inside the rectum. We'll do an examination to the lumbar spine, the SI joint, which is your sacroiliac joint, your abdomen. So it's like a full thing. I'm in there for my first initial eval for like an hour. And I was able to recreate her pain and feeling the muscles, and she's super hypertonic. Those muscles are so tight and in spasm inside the vagina. And I asked her, I said, has anyone, like, who sent you here? She's like, no one told me about pelvic floor PT. My mom comes to you and said that I need to come to you. She forced me to come. So the point that I want to make is if postpartum, you go in for your 6-week checkup and your OBGYN is like, oh, you're leaking, you're fine, it's going to get better. Oh, you're in pain, it's going to get better. But the thing is, like, this woman has been in pain for 9 months and has been telling so many people she's in pain, and nobody has helped her.
Oh, it's so terrible.
And no one has helped advocate for her. And that's why, like, my point is you always have to advocate for yourself and to find somebody who will help you. And if that doctor doesn't know, you go to a different doctor and you don't stop trying, because if she wouldn't have come to see me, she would probably end up being in pain the rest of her life. And I've seen her twice. Her pain is decreased by 50%.
Wow.
She can now stand for an hour. She can lay down with no pain. And like, I could go into what I'm doing or what I'm treating and what I like, all these things. But it's so important that women, after you give birth, like, it's not okay to feel like this, and you shouldn't have to feel like this. And I also think too, like, with men, if this was happening to a man, they would last 1 week and be like, they would go to the hospital. But us women, like, she's trying to take care of her kids. She has, two other kids at home. She's trying to go back to work, do laundry, cook dinner, and there's just so much going on. She hasn't, like, prioritized herself.
Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting. I love what I do, and it's so empowering to help these women, especially a lot of women who need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Kind of crazy.
That's so crazy.
And at first, when I was treating women, I was so stressed all the time, because I feel like with my job, it's like I'm not crunching numbers. I'm not sending documents. Like, I'm dealing with people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, they're relying on me. But have found it's all about listening. If you can just hear them and, like, acknowledge them and give them faith and say, I'm going to get you better. And it could be me, or I will find somebody that's going to help you. That's been my biggest thing, is I'm going to find somebody that's going to help you if I can't. And I can promise you that. And if you can instill that confidence in your patient, I feel like the next time they come back, they're like, I already feel better. Because you believe that I can get better.
Yep.
The power of this, of your mind.
It is. Yeah. And totally, like, the whole point of, like, feeling heard. It's the worst when you go to a doctor and they don't really acknowledge the way that you're feeling. You kind of look at them like, are you listening to me? Do you even hear what I'm saying? Like, you just want someone to be like, oh, really? That is, like, that's, I'm happy you came in to see me, because that can be concerning. Or, oh, wow. Like, just have some reaction. Like,
Literally.
tell me, like, just, like, look at me and tell me that you hear what I'm saying, and that I am smart for coming in here, and that you're also intrigued, rather than just being like, oh, it's fine. Like, I've been to so many doctors like that. They're just like, oh, it'll be fine. Like, or, like, they're just, like, nodding, and they're like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. And it
like,
sucks
what?
because the healthcare, like, now with insurance, like, doctors have 7 minutes to see patients. I don't know if you know that. And then they're on to the next patient. And that's why, really, like, I would encourage all of you to do, like, a concierge or pay cash, because they're going to spend way more time with you, and you're going to get a lot better care, again, if you can see if you can afford it. But on top, like now that you're saying that, I actually received an email and I wanted to share it from a patient. And this is so on point with like listening.
Okay.
But so I had a patient email me and it says, I'm not sure if you still remember me. However, I wanted to say thank you. I'm replying to an email you sent me a few years ago, hoping it will jog your memory. Anyhow, I reached out in hopes that you do remember me. It has been some time. However, if it weren't for you, I'd probably be in a much different situation than I currently am. I wanted to say thank you because it's you that I actually started asking myself questions, which led me on my healing journey of unimaginable pain and discomfort. However, nearly 2 years ago, you changed my life and you asked me in an appointment for pelvic floor physical therapy that the words I will never forget. Are you safe at home? If you have not said those 5 words to me, I'm confident that I would have died and my children would be without a mother. And so,
What?
yeah. So when I treat these women, a lot of them have been raped, abused, or you hear stories sexually that you're like, it's mind-blowing. It's true. Like I could write a book on the things that I've heard. And I remember her clear as day coming in and her husband was sticking objects inside her vaginal canal that were like, she would tell me these things and I was like, he's putting that inside of you? And she's like, yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, do you feel safe going home? And she's like, well, and just was kind of like questioning, like, I don't know, like, and she kept coming in to see me. And every time I would check on her, I was like, I really think you need to get this figured out because this sounds like abuse to me. And it's hard to say that to somebody, you know, because that's their sex life and this is their
like,
husband.
You don't know that. Like,
you don't know this situation.
Yeah, like from their standpoint, it's like, you don't know me, like you don't know him, but
totally.
I mean.
But it was really empowering. She's safe. She's in a much better spot now. But I would say maybe twice a week, I have conversations like this with women. And it's crazy to hear what these women go through for their partners, or have gone through in the past, whether it's a brother that has abused them or an uncle or a father. It's really, it's crazy. So the power of listening is huge, and asking the right questions, because I could have easily just blown her off like, oh, that's silly. But I took the time and I asked her the questions and I was like, well, tell me more about that.
Well, I think there's also too, she didn't just go in there and say, I'm going to tell my pelvic floor therapist that my husband is sticking things inside of me that he shouldn't be, or just like abusing me essentially. You made it feel like a safe space, 100%.
For sure.
And you should know, but you should be proud of that.
Thank you.
Because that is like just the best bedside manner. Like you want to be able to go into a doctor's office and be like, I can tell you whatever.
And, yeah. No,
and I feel safe telling you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No one's going to go in there and
that's
say that.
True.
You know?
That's true. No, that's
amazing.
I would say that is my superpower, is the ability to listen and to make people feel comfortable in a very like high stress situation. And I think that's really helped me in life, being non-judgmental. I truly, like, in any situation, I always try to see both sides, and I try not to ever judge. Like, oh, you want to do that? That's fine. I support you. Like, will never tell somebody what to do.
No.
Ever.
No, I'm the same way.
So, anyways, that's about my job.
Wow.
It's got deep there.
Crazy.
There's more to come. I have so many stories, funny stories, scary stories, sad stories, beautiful stories. But the reason why I do what I do is because of those emails that I get, and friendships that I've made, or patients that, I have long lasting relationships, and just helping women. So this is, if you're listening to this and any of this resonates with you, go and see a pelvic floor physical therapist. If you're having any issues, pooping, peeing, constipated, pain, intercourse feels uncomfortable, ask your doctor about it, because it really can be life-changing. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It is cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget what I do, and it just, you go through the mundane, you know, you're just like, oh, just, you know,
Yeah.
and then also too, when you tell people what you do, no one understands.
No.
You know, like, yeah, like, it's very interesting. It's a weird profession to explain, you know, but
yeah. No, I mean, it is crazy too. Like, just even my boss says to me all the time, and he's a really good reminder of this. He always goes, if you would talk to yourself 1 year ago, like, just imagine how cool.
Totally.
And like, he says it to me all the time because I'll say something and he'll be like, it's so cool that you just said that to me, because like, if you had said that if you saw yourself a year ago, like, saying that stuff, like, you would have been like, what? How does she even know how to say that? But it is just so cool to see how, like, sometimes we just go through like the day-to-day tasks of our jobs and we're just like, oh, you know, I'm tired and like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, corporate America sucks, whatever. But then when you really take a step back and you're like, wow, like, sure, I just feel like I'm just going through the motions, but it's so cool to see how much I've grown. And
I know.
I would have never been able to be capable of this 3 years ago.
Like, Ethan and I were talking, that's such a good point. Ethan and I were talking about that. Like, looking at ourselves now, like, I would never of 2 years ago said on camera to you on the interweb that I wanted to go treat independently. That is like, but now I feel like that confidence, like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, same for you. Like, you can do so much now that you wouldn't had been able to do years prior. So
I know.
we should be. I am very proud of myself, and I have to remind myself, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so burnt out, you know?
Yeah, I know. It is crazy. So, yeah, it's just really cool. I love looking back on just things that I've accomplished. It's like my favorite. It's my favorite thing to do. We lost our camera. It's okay. But
camera's gone.
I mean, anyways, that's pretty much all we have.
Yeah.
But that was a good episode.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Okay, well, really quick, my hands are clammy too. Are yours clammy?
Clammy.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Memo Mamas.
You guys, we're so grateful for you. We're
So
grateful that
grateful.
we have you guys and we can do this. So if you like the pod, make sure to leave us a comment, like and subscribe to YouTube at This Deserves a Memo. Follow us on Instagram, This Deserves a Memo, TikTok. I'm gonna be really hounding these clips out, so hopefully you guys will share with friends.
Yep.
And yeah.
Oh, one final thing I forgot to say. So I was texting my friend Anna, and she goes, oh my God, my friend, she's like with her bunch of her friends from college this weekend, and they were talking about our podcast.
Really?
And one of them thought that it was the Memo Mamas.
What?
And Anna was like, what is wrong with you? Like, Memo Mamas? Like, she thought it was, instead of like Memo Mamas, like Memo Mamas. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, and now I'm just thinking like, welcome back to This Deserves a Memo. Or like,
Does she listen, or she just saw us on Insta?
she just sees us on Instagram and stuff. And then Anna's like, don't worry, I told them all to listen. But like, they all literally thought that it was like
Memo.
the Memo Mamas.
That's so funny.
I was peeing.
Memo, duh.
We love you, Memo Mamas.
Memo.
Memo.
You guys,
Aw.
we really do.
Yeah, we do.
And I think too, I was thinking about this today, and then we can go, but sometimes I get in this headspace where I'm like, oh, why are we doing this? Do you ever feel that way?
I think I've actually kind of gotten out of that headspace.
I ebb and flow.
I'm in a groove right now.
You are? With
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I'm in such a groove.
Good.
Like the editing thing, like I
got it down?
Oh, I've got it down. Like I just like it is just like it's like my Sunday afternoon thing I do, and like I have it.
Do you like it?
I love it because what I'll do is because I don't really have to edit these episodes as much anymore.
Because we're good.
And so I know. So I'll be like doing my laundry, and I'll just like be listening to the episode, and I'll be like hee ha, because like I need to do my chores. So it's fun that I can like
listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes sitting down and trying to do something like that makes it very tedious and like, whatever, harder to do. But I'm listening, I'm doing things just like I would listen to another podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, if I catch something, I'll be like, oh, and then I'll run over to my computer and like pause it,
And
cut it
edit
out,
it.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Because sometimes I'm like, why are we doing this? But like just like anything, our jobs, you have to start like very small. And I just want that like instant gratification. I want you guys all to listen. I want it to be this big successful thing, but in time. And Rachel's really good at reminding me that.
It just takes time.
When we first started this, she goes, Ashley, like, it's going to be years.
It will be years.
So, you know what? We're going to see you on episode maybe 300.
Enjoy the ride. I know. We got to figure out, like, what's the whole, like, do we want, because we're still on season 1. Like, this is season 1, episode 19, right?
Season 1, episode 19.
So, when do we want, like, the first season to be over? Like, do we want to, like, because that's another thing, too. You know, we can have a season end, and then we can, like, really just, like.
We can rebrand.
We could just go all in.
Yeah.
Who knows? I have an idea. Oh, my God. I need to take this offline. I can't talk to you about it right now.
All right, let's cut it.
I have an idea.
Okay. You guys get ready for a bunch of seasons. It's going to be so good. Grow with us, have babies with us, get married with us.
Oh my God, buy houses with us.
Buy houses with us.
Hell
design with us.
I know.
We want to bring you along for the ride.
We do. Well, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Happy almost Thanksgiving. We hope you learned a little.
We hope you laughed a little
and loved a lot.
Bye. No camera.
Bye.
That was great.